been working my ass off since I met her. We've both been working our asses off. Like, I don't know what the hell this person is talking about, but this is what society sees and values. You gotta look a certain way, be a certain way, and then they'll value you. If you don't look a certain way or be a certain way, you're not valuable. Which kind of works for me in my favor, because I've grown over the years to know better when it comes to people and covers and their covers and so on and so forth. I've grown to know better. Welcome to another episode of Don't Quote Me on the 27th Letter Podcast. My name is Landry Onigbinde Bay. You already know. Listen, today we're talking about covers. Covers. Judging a book by their cover. Judging a person by their appearance, or what lies within the surface. You know, someone's initial impression might not be the greatest. You know, there are people in this world who are very polished, like very polished. They could not come out the house unpolished. You know what I mean? That's how polished they are. So when they step outside, society looks at them as, oh my God, this person's got it together because they look so polished. And then you have individuals who step out their house who just do not look polished. You know, they look rough around the edges, you know. And society might not look at them as favorable as they do as somebody that's polished, you know. And you can see somebody that's polished as, man, they got to go to college, they got their degree, they got their house, and they got their car, they got, you know what I mean? They volunteer every Saturday or Sunday. They go to their place of worship and so on and so forth. Their beard is kept neat, and you know, hair is always done, nails is neat, whatever the case may be. They just look polished. And then you have the opposite of that. Some people ain't getting their nails done. They ain't getting their hair did. They don't care what type of beard that they have. They don't care. You know what I mean? They don't care about what the latest fashion is. They wear the same clothes every day. You know what I mean? Like, they're very plain in their appearance, you know? But I'll tell you what though, through my life lessons, is that more often than not, the truth tellers of this world are the most unpolished people in the world. Let me repeat that. The truth tellers of this world are the most unpolished people in the world. You know? This is why I say this. Look, there's nothing with getting your education, getting a higher education, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to after elementary school and after high school, post-secondary education is a business. It's just a business. So, and people who understand the business of post-secondary education and how society works, they will go get their degree and PhD, their masters, or so on and so forth, all the letters but after their name. these people will get these accolades that society view as milestones, as you as a human being, that hey, you're doing something as a human being, you're getting your degrees, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. You know, society look upon that. You know, like when a guy meets a girl and he tells his friend and say, hey, yo, I met this girl, and they're automatically, what does she look like? Again, appearance, what does she look like, and this and that, and so on and so forth about her looks, everything about her looks. That's what mans think. You know what I mean? Maybe afterwards they're like, oh, what is she like as a person? When a woman meets a man, her friends are like, oh, really? What does he look like? What does he do? What does he do? Side note, years ago when I first met my empress, I went back home to visit her family with her, because she's from another province, and because my girl is a big girl, you know, and society looks upon big girls and looks down upon big girls as less than. It's just the facts. So I come along, putting my empress on a pedestal as she deserves to be. There's a guy who is a family friend of a family, and this guy openly spoke up in front of the family. I wasn't there, neither was my empress. We just heard about it and was like, oh, he's only with her for money. Bro, you don't even know, fam. I know him as the falafel guy. This is years ago. I'm talking about like 12, 13, 11 years ago. And I still remember it to this day. And whenever I run into this person that said this, we and him are gonna have a talk. But yeah, pretty much. And by the way, when I met my empress, she was like, she just moved from one province to the next, trying to start her life over. So trust me, money was like, trust me, she was just really starting out from ground zero. You know what I mean? When I met her, you know, putting her life back together after moving from one province to the next. So I don't know what they're talking about. What this person's talking about money. Like, I'm with her for money. Like, what money? All I've been working my ass off since I met her. We've both been working our asses off. Like, I don't know what the hell this person is talking about, but this is what society sees and values. You gotta look a certain way, be a certain way, and then they'll value you. If you don't look a certain way or be a certain way, you're not valuable. Which kind of works for me in my favor, because I've grown over the years to know better when it comes to people and covers and their covers and so on and so forth. I've grown to know better. And I have no problem being around anybody, no matter what walk of life they come from. I'm very comfortable around anybody and everybody. So for me, when the world still judge people by the covers, it's to my advantage a lot of times. You know what I mean? You can underestimate me based on how I look, the type of woman I'm with, or my children, whatever the case may be, my past. You could underestimate me all you want, because I don't have the right boxes check off, so you guys could accept me in society. You could have all that. You could, like, I'm actually okay and happy in that regard. But for some people, for most people in the world, they succumb to this, whether being a victim or being a perpetrator of just judging people by their covers. It serves no one any good in the long run when we keep judging each other by the covers. And so many people will hide behind their title. You know what I mean? Whether they're manager, CEO, owner, whatever the title is, or the letters at the end of the name from the degree they paid for. You pay for your degree these days, you don't earn it. So a lot of people hide behind that. And then it's like, when you look in the mirror, Like, really and truly, go stand in front of the mirror right now. Please, go look in the mirror. Or you don't have to look in the mirror. Get your phone, turn the camera on, and turn the camera towards you. And look at yourself. When you're looking at yourself, do you know the person you're seeing is not who you are? This eyes, this nose, this hair, all that, it's no different from a car. It's no different from the house you live in. It does not identify you. You could have a big fancy house and be a piece of shit person. You could have no home and have the purest of heart. You know what I mean? None of these, don't let these things fool you, children. Don't let these things fool you, people. Don't get fooled by people's status or the material things that they gather, accumulate over time. It means nothing. You could have a PhD and still operate in the lowest of chakras. You know what I mean? If your heart's not pure, it doesn't matter what type of car you drive to me, what type of house you live in, or how big your bank account is, you know what I'm saying, how tall you are, handsome, whatever the case may be. It really don't matter to me. Who you are when you look in the mirror, it's not even who you are. Do you understand what I'm saying? The spirit that dwells within this husk, this flesh, it's not who you are. This is like, and people are going off of that, what's on the outside. Like, and there are people that are crazy, like they're crazy when it comes to this thinking. Like, I'll give you an example. A woman I know looked at me one day and was like, I would never, like she's saying, she's talking about herself, she would never date a person that doesn't drive, that doesn't have their own car or drive. I was like, yeah, that's so crazy to me. It's so asinine to me. First of all, you have your own 2 feet and your own 2 hands. If you want to drive, get your own damn car. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to rely on a man to come drive you around. Which is so asinine when you talk about being progressive, when you talk about meeting somebody who's your other half or your better half and you become one. You know what I mean? It's like looking at somebody that drives a nice car and be like, wow, that person must be a good person because they drive a nice car. Oh, that person lives in a big, beautiful house. They must be a good person. Oh, that person is homeless. Must be a bad person. Oh, look at that clothes on that person. It's so ripped up and tattered. Must be a bad person. Bro, I don't live my life like this. I cannot. You know what I mean? As a teenager, young man, I was susceptible to these type of thinking, you know, at one point, but it wasn't something that resonated with me. I never was like, yeah, this was it. No, it was just me trying to fit in. But once I realized that, bro, I'm my own outfit. I don't need to fit in. Once that became drilled in my head, bro, it was over. I just do me unapologetically, unadulterated version of myself, always looking to heal my inner child. And that's another thing, that's the next level of judging people by the cover. When I meet somebody and I talk to somebody, in order for me to truly connect with you, again, it has nothing to do with your status or title or material. One of the biggest factors for me in connecting with people is connecting with the inner child. My inner child is what really rules me. You know, it's been written in the Bible, right? Be childlike but not childish. The reason why you want to be childlike is you want to unadulterated version of yourself, unadulterated truth version of yourself. You know what I mean? And a lot of adults and grown up hide that inner child, because the inner child will reveal things that they might not want to reveal to the world. You know what I mean? It goes back to just not being comfortable with who they are in their own skin. Again, this is why they need a cover. Man, I could go on forever and ever about this topic, but it is what it is. Thank you for joining me again on 27 Letter Podcast. Don't quote me on the 27 Letter Podcast. Thank you for joining me. And again, do not look at somebody and say and think that there's something special based on title, status, bank account, material stuff, anything material. You know what I mean? Down to their body, the body that they travel in, that they live in. Don't judge people based off of that. It's a recipe for confusion, and it's a recipe for de-evolution. We don't evolve thinking this way. In order for us to evolve, we gotta go beyond the surface. Go beyond the surface or go beneath the surface, depending on how you look at it. Anyways, again, thank you again for joining me. And don't quote me on the 27 Letter Podcast. My name is Landry Onigbinde Bay. Check out this next video right here. Somewhere right here. Alright. Peace. 27th Letter Podcast merch. You can get them off the website. Just like newly published revised version of 27th Letters book. Make sure you go to 27thletter.com to get your copy of the book, the revised version, or just if you already have a copy, get a cup of coffee. You know, there's other stuff on the website you can get. Let me know. All right, support. This is how I am able to, you know, have the time to do what I do for you guys. Get the book,